Coming up on Carolina Week, pain at the pump. This time it's not only about price, it's about the supply.
Also, students are reacting to the university's handling of sexual assault allegations.
And North Carolina's bird populations are in decline, but a new exhibit may help save them. All that and more Carolina Week
starts right now.
From the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
Protests erupt on UNC's campus as students respond to the university's handling of rape accusations. Good evening, I'm Erin Wygant.
And I'm Sharon Nunn. We have the latest, but first we turn an eye to the gas shortage sweeping across the southeast. For the latest, we head to Jacqueline Lee, live in the Exxon station in Carrboro, just a few miles from campus. Jacqueline, what are you seeing?
Sharon, drivers everywhere are continuing to encounter these yellow bags. Sorry, out of service. Gas stations don't have any gas, and this shortage is leaving many drivers frustrated.
Barbara Wall thought it was her lucky day.
3 or 4 in Durham, and I've just come in from work, and this is the only place I saw that had gas.
Problems at the pump have been affecting drivers across the southeast for almost 2 weeks.
I've been to 5.
Susan Bellman-Smith flagged us down just to share her frustration.
I've even gone out of my way trying to go further down the road from where I live, and I decided I can't go that far because I might run out.
The gas shortage is caused by a leak in the Colonial Pipeline, which originates in Alabama. The pipeline supplies most of the fuel in the southeast, including North Carolina. Governor Pat McCrory says the state is only getting about a third of its normal supply. For Gloria Gonzalez, it's bad for business.
Because we're not selling like we used to. I mean, like a 1/4 of what we used to have.
And gas prices have gone up. More than 1,000 reports of price gouging are being investigated by the North Carolina Attorney General's office. The average price in North Carolina is $2.16, up from last week's average of $2.05. Regardless of price, many want what they can't get.
She's saying the tank is empty, so I can't get gas. I'm just going to go home.
Now repairs have been made to the pipeline, but officials say it will take several days for fuel supplies to return back to normal. Sharon.
That was Jacqueline Lee reporting live in Carrboro. Thanks for that report, Jacqueline. And back on campus here, it's been more than a week since UNC sophomore Delaney Robinson accused the university of mishandling her rape case.
And university officials are still not talking. Anique Joseph has been following the story closely.
Robinson's attorney is Denise Branch. She says her client did everything she was supposed to do. She went to the hospital, she reported the rape to the Department of Public Safety and the Title IX office. But Robinson and her attorney say nothing's been done. Others are talking.
And administrators that are more concerned with our maintaining their own reputations. Thank you.
More than 100 students gathered in front of the post office on Franklin Street to show support for Delaney Robinson. They held up signs hoping to send a message to the administration. So far, they and Delaney Robinson have received only generic responses or no response at all. Robinson says DPS didn't take her report seriously. You can tell, she says, by the way they treated the accused.
They told him, don't sweat it. Just keep on living your life and keep on playing football.
Further, Branch says the university violated its own policy when it comes to Title IX.
They took my client's victim impact statement and passed it around to everyone at that university meeting.
Branch says that's a document used only when determining punishment, not to be passed around. I reached out to Title IX coordinator Katie Nolan for an explanation. I was told to read the policy. No other response. The same with public safety. Chief Jeff McCracken had no comment when asked about the way the officers interviewed the accused. These search warrants claim that Robinson believed she was drugged without her knowledge prior to the assault. The accused is UNC football player Alan Artis. His attorney, Carrie Sutton. She says her client wants the case to be over. However, he wants it to be thorough, thoughtful, and correct, more than he wants the process to be fast. Artis will be in court on next Thursday. His attorney says his legal team will address the media right after his appearance. Chancellor Carol Folt sent out a statement about this case. She said, in every situation, we must be fair to all the individuals involved and not rush to judgment, regardless of how that approach and the time it takes might be viewed in the court of public opinion. Artis is being charged with a misdemeanor sexual battery and assault on a female. He's been suspended from the UNC football team indefinitely.
Anik Joseph, live in the studio. Thanks.
A flurry of events surrounding House Bill 2 that has occurred in the past 2 weeks has culminated in a standoff between Governor Pat McCrory and Charlotte Mayor Jennifer Roberts. Here's a quick timeline for you. The NCAA announced it would remove its championship games from the state after 3 North Carolina Republicans called for the repeal or modification of House Bill 2. Then, a McCrory spokesperson announced Friday he would call a special session to repeal HB 2 if Charlotte repealed its bathroom ordinance, saying for the last 9 months the governor has consistently said state legislation is only needed if the Charlotte ordinance remains in place. Roberts responded saying, some people don't realize there's no legal reason for Charlotte to do anything, and that's the point we want to make clear to the community. As of now, the status of a special session to repeal HB 2 is unclear, but we'll continue to follow this and update you as we know more.
The Old Chapel Hill Cemetery sparked controversy in February with a marker recognizing 361 unmarked graves. The town quickly removed it due to a lack of community input on the wording. I attended a special event on Sunday when the town unveiled a new marker. Almost a year ago, on a cold February day, Stanley Peel looked across a cemetery that was missing something.
You've got dozens of graves out there. They're not marked. Nobody's paying attention to them.
But on a warm September day, he realized many people were paying attention.
We're making something right that has been wrong.
Peel looked out across a cemetery that was no longer empty, but filled with town and university officials, community members, and students, all gathered for the dedication of a new marker. The poem of a former black UNC student is etched in the stone. Thus we, like birds, retreat to groves and hide from every eye. Our slumbering dust will rise and meet its morning in the sky.
It just shows that through collaboration, we can stand tall in the midst of adversity.
Mayor Pam Heminger says the marker is an important recognition of the town's history.
It's to pay honor and to give dignity to the people buried here that helped create the town and the university.
The dedication ceremony included spoken word poetry.
Black folks have been here painting our sky, and our campus is Carolina blue, and we put their paintbrushes in the attic.
And music. To celebrate something new in an old cemetery. Mayor Heminger says the town is in the process of identifying all of the names of those buried in the unmarked graves. Residents of one town in China are reaping the benefits
of a UNC's professor economic plan for their area. No surprise here, but the latest polls show the presidential race is a tight one.
But you might not know that by talking to students on campus. As Katie Kamen tells us, being a Trump supporter at UNC isn't easy.
Haley Hall is a junior at UNC, and she's a passionate Trump supporter. She sung the national anthem at some of his rallies and has even met him. But Hall says there aren't many Trump supporters like her at UNC.
There's a small handful of Republicans here at UNC, but even a smaller handful of Republican Trump supporters.
And she says it can be difficult to be a Trump supporter here.
It's gotten heated at times. It's been scary. So I've gotten in the habit of keeping my mouth shut and making sure I'm in a group of people that I know will making sure I'm in a group of people that I can voice my ideas with.
According to a survey conducted by Next Gen Climate, Clinton leads Trump 48-23 among millennial voters. The poll also found that 73% see Trump as racist, but Hall disagrees. Morgan Dunn is a junior at UNC. She says she fell in love with politics at a very young age and is particularly interested in this election.
This is the first presidential election since then that I've able to vote in, and so I'm super excited.
But she wasn't excited for Trump to be the Republican nominee.
Kind of early on looking at the Republican candidates, and I didn't like Trump at all. He's very radical, and I think he would get America into a lot of trouble.
But she's still voting for Trump in November.
I'm only voting for Trump to support the unity of the Republican Party and also to take a stand and do what I can against the progression of Hillary.
She says she also faces criticism.
A lot of people that don't agree, I think most of them stay quiet, but there's a few of them that are, wow, I can't believe you're voting for him, or kind of under their breath comments.
Both Hall and Dunn agree about one thing. It's important to go out and vote regardless of who you're voting for. In Chapel Hill, I'm Katie Kamen reporting.
Voting in North Carolina runs October 20th through November 5th. Voter registration ends October 14th. Chapel Hill's Botanical Gardens is holding a Saving Our Birds exhibit to address North Carolina's declining bird population. Events centered around protecting our native birds will take place at the gardens from now until December 16th. Visitors can explore the bird activity in the gardens and learn ways to help protect our birds, like planting cardinal flowers or American Beauty berry bushes. North Carolina Bird-Friendly Communities Coordinator Kim Brand says climate change is a factor.
And we know that climate change is impacting about 170 species of North Carolina birds, whose habitats are shrinking and shifting northward and also upslope as well because of warming of our planet.
Head over to the Botanical Garden if you're interested in learning more on how you can help save our birds.
Have you wondered why our 3 major universities and big corporations all surround RDU? One UNC professor has a theory, and he's using it to help build cities around the world.
Apple! Yes, apples. A word essential to learning English here in Zhengzhou, China. This school, the Global Elite International School, has contributed to Zhengzhou's massive growth in recent years. Another important word these kids are learning: airplanes. The idea of the airplane has become central to Zhengzhou's identity. UNC professor John Casarda made the plan for Zhengzhou's airport economic zone based on the Aerotropolis model he was the lead developer on.
Yeah. And a tremendous amount of investment has flown in to the economic zone, almost $6 billion in investment.
And you can see that investment everywhere in Zhengzhou. Skeletons of new high-rises, new consumer districts. Casarda says RDU could have a similar impact on our area.
Its ability to attract U.S. firms and multinational firms.
According to Casarda's model, airport companies close by corporations and universities like Duke, UNC, and NC State.
Just look at the Research Triangle Park, where you have larger corporations like Bayer here, IBM across the street, and GlaxoSmithKline and others right down the road, all within 5 miles of the Raleigh-Durham International Airport.
Vice President of the Zhengzhou Aerotropolis Institute, Tian Yao Sun, says this airport model has tremendously improved life in Zhengzhou.
What happened here is really because of his philosophy. How the economy should work around the airport.
An airport that's bringing in more investment, jobs, and students to fill GEIS while they learn about
Examples of other airport economies around the world that I didn't get to visit are Amsterdam Zuidas, Las Colinas, Texas, and South Korea's Songdo International Business District.
It's pouring now, but is there sunshine in our future?
Meteorologist Alex Commit has the weather up next.
As I move forward, I want to show you our surface map, and down here is the remnants of Tropical Storm Julia, which is where all the rain has been coming from. When I move forward to my next slide, you'll see the way that the precipitation has been moving in from east to west as opposed to west to east like normal is because of the counterclockwise spin of the post-tropical storm. As I move forward, I want to go ahead and talk about currently it's 77 outside, mostly cloudy skies. There's a chance of scattered thunderstorms today, and then tonight we're going to drop down to 68, mostly cloudy skies with a chance of thunderstorms. Moving into tomorrow, I got a breakdown for you. When you wake up at 8 a.m., we're going to be at 69 degrees. Moving into noon, we have a chance of thunderstorms, and that's associated with that low that's not moving, the leftovers of Tropical Storm Julia. And then around 8, you'll notice we do start to clear out a bit. You may even see the moon, and we're going to be at 73. As far as our football forecast goes for this weekend, We do have a great day coming up for football. We play the Pittsburgh Panthers here at Kenan Stadium. And for your tailgate in the morning, we have 80 degrees around kickoff, around 3:30. We'll be up to 88, and then post-game 79. It's going to be a great day for football, so get ready. I hope you've got your tickets. I hope you've got your coolers packed and you're ready for a great day. As far as our 5-day forecast goes, you'll notice that as we go through the week, we do have a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, as I was talking about. We will be in the 80s through Saturday, and we have lows in the 60s. But moving into Sunday is when we have that cool down coming up. We'll get down to 77, and then we even drop as low as 59 on Sunday night. So get your hoodies ready because it's going to be chilly.
Excited, but I want to go back to Hurricane Julia, or Tropical Storm Julia. Why is it we're still seeing that leftover rain? It feels like that happened several days ago.
It did. It was a thing about a week ago, but one of the jets came down and it actually made a cutoff low, and there's nothing moving it around, so it's just sitting stationary,
We're
and
just
it
kinda
will
getting
be
the brunt of
here
it.
through the rest of the day and tomorrow.
All right. Well, we also had one more question. When does fall officially start?
Yeah, that's an important question.
Contrary to popular belief, fall does not start when the pumpkin spice comes out.
But I have to disagree with that just a little bit.
The first day of fall, the astronomical first day of fall, is tomorrow. So, and then looking forward to this weekend, we may start to feel some more fall-like temperatures.
All right, well, thanks so much, Alex, for that forecast.
Absolutely.
And coming up, the Carolina football team opens conference play this weekend against Pittsburgh.
Peyton Walker is here to break down the matchup next.
With quarterback Mitch Trubisky coming off a career day, the offense seems to be firing on all cylinders. The defense, on the other hand, has been a different story. Through the first 3 games, Carolina's run defense ranks 106th nationally. That is not good. After the D gave up nearly 500 total yards to the Dukes on Saturday, defensive coordinator Gene Chizik ripped his unit's performance, saying, "I thought we were soft. Soft defense is a choice, and that's the choice we made." The Tar Heel defense cannot afford to be soft again on Saturday because the Panthers are led by star running back James Conner. Conner is back after missing all of last season with cancer, but he has picked up right where he left off in 2014 when he was named the ACC Player of the Year. Conner torched the Carolina defense for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns that year. So the UNC defense has to have its best performance of the season on Saturday for the Heels to pick up the win. The team did get some good news Monday, though, as starting defensive linemen DeJuan Drennan and Naz Jones will both play on Saturday. Both missed the game against James Madison. But before the football team plays on Saturday, the women's football team plays VT at home tomorrow. And the women's soccer team has been busy on the field so far this season with a 5-2-1 record. Reporter Jordan Jackson tells us how they stay busy off the field.
Tiny cleats and smiling faces at the Project Heal Soccer Skills Clinic over the weekend. Young players dribbling and shooting with the Carolina women's soccer team in the 6th annual event. Together raising money for UNC Lineberger in the fight against cancer. A fight senior Darcy McFarland witnesses firsthand.
My older sister was on the soccer team and she volunteered at the UNC Children's Hospital. And she met a little boy named Alex, who she found out was a huge soccer fan. So she brought him in some posters, and then the next time she went in, she brought in a group of us to go visit him when he was getting his treatments.
And soon, when Alex started to feel better, he spent his afternoons practicing with the team.
His mom was telling us how he would just look forward to coming to practice at the end of the day, even if he had had treatments that morning. So that was cool for us to be able to have an impact on him and be this light in his life when he was going through a really tough time.
Alex, now 8 years old, is in remission after a long battle with lymphoma. He's also a yearly participant in Project Heal, a project senior Hannah Gardner says unites many in Chapel Hill.
I just think it's really cool to see all the kids in the community come out to support a cause and just be so excited to play with us.
Together, playing for Alex and playing for a cure. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jordan Jackson, reporting. It has been a record-setting year for Project Heal with nearly 90 participants and more than $2,400 raised.
Those little kids were so cute, and it looked like they were having such a fun time.
And I think it's so amazing too that these athletes, even amidst their crazy practice schedules and keeping up with schoolwork, still find time to make a difference in the community. That's great.
So are you ready for a walk through gardens and down memory lane?
Learn the moving story behind Gimgool Road's local landmark.
Memories, flowers, and family all have roots in one Chapel Hill home.
Reporter Drew Kurzman takes us to a place where the gardens are always open.
A picture-perfect postcard based on a real home. And living inside, 101-year-old Bernice Wade. She's been here on Gimgool Road since 1944, tending her gardens for everyone to enjoy.
It's your way of being part of the world. As long as you garden, you'll never be lonely. You'll always have friends. You make new friends. You don't outgrow them.
For decades, Wade and her identical twin sister Barbara Stiles shared their gardens with the local community. But in June, Stiles passed away. After a quick illness, she died at home with friends and family.
From the time we were little, we did everything together.
Now in a season between blooms, Wade has to carry on. But as she said, gardeners are never alone. Her family of children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren extends on and includes some dear friends. Eric Fish is a research associate at UNC Chapel Hill, but that's not all he does. He's been the home's primary gardener for the past 9 years. And just like her real family, he felt Stiles' loss.
So many of us pass and we with an unfulfilled life. In Barbara's case, it was completely full. We can see aspects of Barbara in the garden. I can, at least. But we all miss her terribly.
Fish promised that the gardens are much more vibrant in the spring, but you don't have to take his word for it. The home itself is with paintings, photos, and even pop-up books inspired by the home and its grounds. Colorful, in bloom, and full of life. Wade shared a song a friend wrote about her and her sister titled "The Garden is Open." And just listening, you can feel the blossoms of spring are on their way.
They have brightened our world for nigh on a century, spreading their peace and love. Come in, please.
Despite tragedy, the garden continues to grow.
I would want her to know that I'm strong. I'm continuing to do what we used to do together. Make as many people happy as we have in the past.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Drew Kurzman reporting.
That was such a beautiful story.
It really was. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.